A short story about myself, not a very good one. I had a bit of a difficult breakup. I was married for 10 years, got 4 lovely girls. I've got a son as well from before I was married. But the relationship took a turn for the worst, and it resulted in us not seeing my kids for about 5 months. I was off my nut for 5 months. It was a really difficult time not seeing my kids, and the longest I've ever been away from them, you know. But during that time, my mother was seeing my kids, and I mean, I wasn't happy about that at all, and I thought my mother was, you know, being devious and lying to us. Mm-hmm. She actually wasn't. All my mum was doing was trying to maintain a relationship with her grandkids, you know.
Yeah.
And when I got wind of it, mate, I was off my nut for days, but I was semi-sober when I went round, and I went round to my mum's house with the intention of kicking off. I've ended up losing it completely, and I punched my mum, and I put her in a choke. And then I flew into a load of neighbours, and I've had a lot of shit over that, you know what I mean, a lot of shit over that. But I accept it for what it is. People are going to have an opinion on people that do stuff like that. So there's not a great deal I can say about it.
Takes a big man to admit that.
Aye, mate, maybe. But living with it's even harder. You know what I mean? Living with it's even harder. You only get one mother. I know in the right mind puts their hands on their own mother. You know, and that was very difficult to deal with from a pride point of view. But I got hammered on the internet over that. And I mean hammered. So I mean, who is actually getting trolled here?
You can feel the remorse just teeming off you.
It was a dark day, that, mate. A very dark day. And it led to a really dark chapter in my life, you know. My granddad, who had raised us as his son, turned his back on us, you know.
Right. How difficult was that for you at that period?
At that time in my life, it was probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to deal with up until that point. Reason being, I felt really alone, you know. I've got a small family as it is. My granddad was always like a dad to us. Fetched us up, taught us everything, you know, from what way to style my hair, to shine my shoes, tie a tie, taught us everything. And everything that's good in me, I have him to thank for that. And for him to turn his back on us in the way he did was completely justified for him. But for me, it was a painful time, you know, very painful time. And the level of shit that I got over that on the internet was unreal. And I mean, I'm a sucker for engaging with people on the internet, you know what I mean? And I'm nowhere near as bad as I was, but you know, you grow over time, you know what I mean? We're getting a massive amount of abuse, and the whole situation was misread, to say the least, but it was what it was. I mean, I'd done them things, and I had to live with that, and I still live with it. You know, it was a terrible chapter for me.
How did that change you at that time when your granddad turned your back on you?
It sent us into even a worse state than I was in before I went round and attacked my mother, you know.
Right.
Simply because the fella that I always drew answers from, I always drew advice from, guidance. You know, the fella, that man had decided he didn't want nothing to do with me, and rightly so, and rightly so. And like I say, I had to deal with that. It was very difficult, you know, and a lot of things unfolded from that point, but it did lead to me, you know, reuniting with my granddad, and he forgave us, you know, and that was powerful, mate.
What commitments did you make to yourself to change after that period?
Nothing initially, you know. I either got off my nut for months and months on end. I got off my nut, and try to blank it out, you know what I mean? But